welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I am so very happy that you're here with me today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, hurdles on your spiritual path. Hurdles, places on your roadway of life, the highway of traveling through your experiences to awaken you. And we are trained in our world at this time on planet Earth to either be victim or to be the one in control. In order to be victim, you have to stay asleep. And in order to be in control, you can create the way that you need everything to look and to feel in order to feel comfortable. And so we are mistaking, as a collective culture, getting what we want and fulfilling what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel loved, what makes us feel like we're part of something. We have a hard time coming together to find the human connection, the human love that supports us to break old patterns, to push us through our own behaviors and ways that we approach our hurdles. Some of the biggest hurdles in your life will be the things that you're most attached to, the people and the situations that have meant something to you from your past. It's really important to understand the way that our human dynamic works. We are drawn to people that we've been with in past lives. We are drawn to people to help us learn a lesson. We are drawn to people because we have to learn how to let go of wanting things to feel and look a certain way. We have to go through the pain of seeing somebody else walking the wrong trail for themselves, and they can't get past their own hurdles, the hurdles that hurt them. We have to move through hurdles that came about through being told what to do as a child, there being high expectations on us, perhaps parents who had no expectations, who neglected and didn't have time for their child. What's your story? What is truly the story that you walk? Are you willing to let go of your story as you discover it, explore it, and understand the role that you have played? Because the role that you have played in your early life, in your childhood, in your teens, and then as an adult, that story is what creates the hurdles on your spiritual path. Once you face the behaviors and the ways that you faced situations, you faced yourself, or you hid from yourself and hid from the truth of situations, this is what determines how you go through the hurdles on your spiritual path. Your responses to your own hurt and pain sets into motion the very situations that become your hurdles. As you've heard me share in other podcasts, your soul, the essence, the spark of the light that you are, the pure beingness of you, is pushing you and pulling you to your ultimate goal. And to get there, you have to be willing to go through hurdles that look like letting go, needing to be right, control, resistance, and avoidance. Let's start with letting go. To let go means that you have realized a truth, a reality that you know is true, but it's painful, it hurts. You don't want to feel the hurt. And you bypass the hurt, you move into it, into the hurt, and you move out of the hurt. And you keep going back and forth, and you have the same results happening. Perhaps it's upset in your relationship. Perhaps it's no money coming in that satisfies what you want to make. Perhaps it's feeling constricted inside yourself. Perhaps you feel as though you can't get out of the box that you're in. Perhaps it's the reoccurrence of feeling a certain way. So you want to pay attention to what you're holding on to. Is it that you need to do things your own way? Is it that you have a threshold of what you can't handle? And so you hold on to the way perhaps your mind keeps everything in nice, tidy boxes, compartments, because to really release yourself means that the boxes dissolve. And when the walls and the resistances within inside of you dissolve, what's left? You. And then what do you do with you if you haven't learned how to be in you, but you've learned how to keep your mind busy, you've learned how to be super creative to avoid yourself. Perhaps, you use alcohol or smoke too much weed. Perhaps you talk too much about what's going on with you. Perhaps you use work as an avoidance. So to let go takes you over the hurdle on your spiritual path, which is your life. Your life is your spiritual path. It's not separate. The strength, the insights, the spiritual power and love that is there inside of you waiting to be accessed and really implemented in your life comes about through letting go. And some of you will be called to let go of relationships in family, in a love relationship, in a friendship, with work, that might feel really difficult because you have an attachment. And the attachment unaddressed within inside of yourself, the attachment and staying closed to it, staying afraid of what you'll find, keeps you wound up and unable to move through this hurdle of letting go. The next hurdle that I'd like to share with you is the need to be right. Needing to feel like what you're saying is right, what you're thinking is right. That your need to be right is fulfilling your choice to stay separate from a positive truth within you, or your avoidance to stay separate from denial. And your need to be right keeps you on a gerbil wheel of being disconnected from being able to really receive another person's heart. So let's say that as a child, you learn that if you push your way through whatever's going on and bypass the stresses and the actual challenges, turmoils in your family system, you choose to be right because you never have to open your heart to another person and their deeper feelings, their pain. So you hold on to your need to be right. And it's a way that you control. And so you're never able to really get close to someone because your own heart is off limits. There is a power that's gained in needing to be right because you don't ever have to step out of your belief system that you're right. And you might come across people who are blaming someone else for needing to be right, when in reality, they have the need to be right. When you have the need to be right, you find fault with another person and yet put it on the other person. Because to blast through your own wall, to blow it up, means that you're freeing yourself and that you'll have to be true to you and receive the best of you, the most sacred, the most evolved you. Control. Seeing control as a hurdle on your spiritual path is alive and well for all of us. To function and survive, we have to have a certain level of control over our daily life to fulfill our daily responsibilities. When you control and shut down yourself, you fall into being aligned into the separate self, the you who's in darkness, the you who'd rather be there because it gives you a false sense of power. Because early on in your life and past lives, there was a denial and a withholding to you of your power. We look out into the world and we see all the controls that are in place. When we are unaware of how we need to stay in control, we are not able to go over the next hurdle on our spiritual path. Oftentimes, your higher self will step in. Your higher self will ask you to give up a habit. Your higher self will say, hey, listen to me. Your higher self will say, I've brought in this inner spiritual being, this inner guide, this inner master to help you through your spiritual hurdles that are really your personality hurdles that you hold in place, because to actually fulfill being free means you have to let go of how you feed your emotional body, avoid your emotional body, deny it, and fill it. So how you work to be in control so that you don't lose someone, you don't lose your status in your life, you don't lose your belief in yourself, where you don't have to let go of how you do things because it's how you have survived. So as a human being, you are being given the opportunity to recognize how you control, to recognize how you are controlled, and to make the choice within inside of yourself to not control and not be controlled. Our next level of hurdle on your spiritual path is resistance. Isn't that the big one? For so many of us, you want to know the truth in yourself. You want to see through the subtle nuances and really pierce the veil to be able to really know who you are, know if a relationship is good for you, know if your karmic pattern with someone is unhealthy, if a karmic pattern is ready to be completed in order to free you to fly and soar into the power of the light that you are. But what happens is you resist. and you hold back because you're having to let go of too much control, your need to hold on to being right, doing things your way, and you don't really want to let go because the bond in yourself to seeking, for instance, power through a relationship that's based upon power and is dressed up in an illusion of love, to move through the hurdles on your spiritual path, you want to pay attention to when you're being resistant and to learn to move into the flow, into the you that's connected to spirit, the flow from the source. And spirit is the essence of the truth within you that is completely connected to the light of your heart. Truth that is connected to the darkness within your heart, the darkness within your body that you have stayed in because it keeps you from having to really see the reality of a situation or person that you've been overly attached to, and you choose to resist opening up, because to open, you have to let go. You can't be right from your forceful self that has the role of being the overprotector, controller, and your resistance creates your avoidance. So let's go to avoidance. It's all over the place. It's all over the map of our collective consciousness. And it's something that all of us would love to be able to do more of until we realize the consequences of avoiding what we've given our power to, what we're really seeking, what we're really holding on to and being attached to, even if it's not really the best for us. Because underneath, we are avoiding the true light, the true power that is really within inside of us. So to make it through these hurdles, letting go, needing to be right, control, resistance, and avoidance, you are needing to choose if you want to really face the despair, the sorrow within yourself, and to first fill your own self in your body with love, compassion, forgiving yourself, but then to come into your body and from your root center, the space between your pubic bone and tailbone and your third eye in your forehead, to create this beautiful vessel, an oval sphere, a goblet, a large bowl filled in light that flows down from above your head from the source of life. You can close your eyes and bring in gold light to fill your vessel and to bring light up from the core of the earth up to meet in your heart. The descending golden white light moving down from above your head. You're creating you to be the container of love, the container of the light, to help give you the strength and the courage to move into saying yes to moving through the hurdles that come up, to give yourself the space, the energy, the momentum, the support, and the faith and the trust that by connecting and turning to that light that is in you, you fill the spaces of where you originally empty, and the effect of feeling separate from yourself in life. Are you ready to end how you separate from yourself in life because of the inner hurts or wounds, and fill yourself to find your maximum level of joy that is within you, and then to be willing to let go, not be right, let go of control, release your resistance, and end your attachment to your avoidance. So I invite you to take this 5-step process and bring it into your inner life, your inner thinking, feeling experience of being you. Thank you so very much for being here with all of us and joining me in this episode of Be One, Be You. I invite you to go check out the Deepenings courses, Deepenings mini courses, and sign up for the free offerings on my website, ayanalehi.com. And all you have to do is subscribe through the email form, and holding you and loving you and supporting you on your journey of being one, be you. All my love to you. This is Ayana Lehi.